what do you like and not like about Watkins Glen? You've won here before, but
Yeah.
it's been a while.
Yeah, I like Watkins Glen. I think it races, almost like an intermediate type track with our cars. It's one of the highest speed road courses that we have. My favorite thing about Watkins Glen has nothing to do with the racetrack though. It really is, kind of the infield there. I mean, we've seen it's like people come out in huge numbers to hang out in Watkins Glen's infield. The midway there, kind of the fan area is filled with different activations and stuff. There's tons of stuff to do. So I've explored around that racetrack and it's been a blast.
What I also love about Watkins is they let you, as fans, drive the course in your own personal cars. I've done it with my two sons and my husband in the S's. We got up to about 80, and then I made them pull back. I was like, okay, this is getting a little nutty. What the race itself and the race course itself, it's fast for a road course, right?
It is. It's extremely fast, and so it's fast but technical. Like when you talk about the S's, I mean that's probably the most treacherous corner that we enter on all of our circuit is turn two there. So the car really unloads, and then you got to switch back the other direction into a blind corner. It's really difficult, and certainly I've only been able to win there one time, and so it tells you that that racetrack's got its own challenges.
Yeah, and you mentioned the experience of it all, and I think that's what it is for a lot of folks who spend the weekend at the Glen. How big of a role do you think you all play as drivers with those fan interactions? I mean, we have the Buffalo Bills here, we have other professional sports, but you don't really get as close to the stars of the sport,
Hmm.
I think, as you do in NASCAR. How big of a role do you think that plays in sort of expanding the sport beyond just the hardcore NASCAR fans?
Well, that's the difference in our sport than others is that it is the access, right? You're able to, more than likely get a autograph or take a picture with your favorite driver just an hour before they're getting in the race car. You never get that access to the locker room in any other sports, and so the access is what makes us different. It's you're not going just for the event itself. You're making a weekend out of it, and with your family or friends, and getting to explore all that Watkins Glen has to offer.
Are you ever able to explore beyond the track when you're in upstate New York?
I mean, I check out the town a little bit. I do try to golf when I'm in that town.
And Denny, if you don't mind, I kind of have a special guest off to the side. It's my 8-year-old. He is a huge NASCAR fan, and he happens to be a huge Denny Hamlin fan.
Hey, my man.
This is Jet. He wanted to say
Hey,
hi. Let him stay home from summer camp. Did
I
you want to
love
ask
that.
Denny a question?
Yes.
Okay.
And by the way, I've met you before, as you can see in this picture,
I see that.
at
Man, you got the
Watkins
hat
Glen
and the
too.
shirt and everything.
What was the age you knew you wanted to be a NASCAR driver?
I was 8 years old. Um,
That's my age right
Yeah, so
now.
well, let's see. That's the first time I got into a go-kart. I went to a race when I was 5, and at that point, I smelled the tires and fuel and the cars that were roaring by, and I was like, "Oh, I love this," right? And so at that time, back then, you couldn't get into a go-kart until you were 8 years old. And so my parents bought me a go-kart when I was 8. I got in it. They showed me, all right, this is how you go, this is how you stop, this is how you steer, and they sent me around this little dirt track. And when I went around there, they saw that like I was getting it sideways and correct it, and they're like, oh, he's got good car control. So like maybe we'll put him in a race in a few weeks. So they put me in a race, and I won my very first race. And then you give an 8-year old a trophy and a go kart, and it's like, oh, this is what I want to do. I just want to be a race car driver, right?
What do you think about SVG at Watkins Glen? Do you think it'll be a challenge to race with?
Yes, I think he's going to be a challenge to keep up with, more than anything. He's just really good on the road courses. Obviously, he almost won last year. And then if you think about it, the team he was with was not as good as the team he's with now. So I think he's going to be extremely hard to beat. I'll be lucky if I'll just want to keep him in sight during that race. That's my goal. In Watkins Glen, I'm gonna keep him in sight. Let's get us a top 5 and get out of there.
Thank you so much for your time and for taking Jet's questions. He's always won. We were at Daytona last year, and he's always wanted to stick up for you against people in the crowd
I
who
like
throw
that.
those boos your way. So
Yeah. You cheer, all right?
Yeah.
all right.